Hello, and welcome to Match Reviews. Today we'll be talking about day 4 of the ongoing India New Zealand test. We're in the final phase of the match, and I am very excited to talk about what has happened and what could be the possible scenarios that might happen. So let's not waste time and get straight into it. All right. So day 4 today was going to be a very important day for either of the teams if they wanted to win the match, and it has been a heck of a day. A lot of runs have been scored today, and it there has been action plenty today. So let's recap what happened today. Yesterday, end of day 3, India were left at around 230 for 3. Virat Kohli had just departed on the last ball of the day, and we were expecting KL Rahul to be sent up along with Sarfaraz Khan, hoping that a long partnership does build, which helps India end the trail and get into the lead. But surprisingly, it wasn't KL Rahul, it was actually Rishabh Pant who was sent up the order to accompany Sarfaraz Khan. And I have to say, the way they bounced off each other and the way they just gave each other company and played the game, supported each other really well. So if you look in the first session of the game, you could see that Sarfaraz Khan was more in action. He was more aggressive. He was hitting those big shots. He was taking those risks. And on the other hand, you saw Rishabh Pant not playing that aggressive. He was just supporting him, taking the ones and twos, and of course the occasional boundaries. But it was Sarfaraz Khan who was driving the car, if I can say, at that moment. And if you see post lunch, the equation changed a bit. Post lunch, suddenly it was Rishabh Pant who got the chance to be aggressive. He started to go for the sixes of the spinners. He smashed Glenn Phillips a couple of times here and there. And he really was the man in charge if you look at the session post lunch. And at that time, Sarfaraz Khan wasn't acting immature or wanting to bat. He was happy to be at the non-strikers end as long as Rishabh Pant was there, comfortable and hitting those runs that India very much needed. But if you look closely, the equation kind of changed as soon as the second new ball came in. Now, let me take you back to the second day, the first innings in which India got all out on 46. It was the new ball which caused India a lot of trouble. The ball danced around a bit here and there, and that confused the Indian batsmen, and they were very unable to understand what's going to happen next. So there were a few haphazard shots. There were a couple of really good deliveries that took place. And if you look at it, the second ball taken today, a similar thing happened. So as soon as the second ball was taken, the second new ball was taken, suddenly you can see uneasiness creeping in Sarfaraz Khan and Rishabh Pant. Both of them not being able to grasp what the ball is doing, how it's going to be pitched, and suddenly you could see them very nervous and simply unable to play the basic shots that they were playing just some time back. You saw Sarfaraz Khan hitting the balls for sixes to defending and leaving balls at end just because he was not able to understand how the ball was coming onto the bat and how much the ball was going to swing it if it was swinging. And the Kiwi fast bowlers really took advantage of that. Tim Saudi first dismissed Sarfaraz Khan while he attempted to hit a big shot around cover and extra cover. On the other hand, it was O'Rourke who took Rishabh Pant's wicket really quickly with the second new ball. It just had a bit of an extra bounce that Pant could not judge, and that just led to him just cutting the ball onto the stumps. And after that, pretty much, it was a collapse of the Indian batting order. We were hoping that the lower middle batting order, especially KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja and Ashwin, they play a very constructive innings. They take their time, they hit a few runs, take that lead to 150 at least, if possible to 200, because again, I can understand how difficult it is with the Kiwi bowling lineup as it is, which is very impressive. It is very difficult to go to scoring around 600 runs. So it needed a lot of patience. It needed a lot of what you can say perseverance, and that is what we were hoping for. KL Rahul did come in. He did play a few good shots. He was looking in good touch, but again, unfortunately, he just edged the ball back to the keeper, and then everything post that was pretty much downhill. Jadeja going for 5 runs, Ashwin going for 15 runs. No real contribution from the tail enders. We were hoping maybe Kuldeep or maybe Siraj, or in the rarest of occasions, Bumrah taking up and scoring a few runs, but that did not happen. So that eventually led from India being at somewhere around 243 for 5 to suddenly crashing down. Sorry, 435 for 5, and suddenly then crashing down to 482, eventually gaining a lead of just 106 runs. Luckily, then it was rain which kind of stopped the game for the day. Kohli and Rohit, they were willing to go back onto the pitch if possible, if the light permitted, maybe bowl a few overs, try to put some pressure on the Kiwis using those overcast conditions at that moment, try to swing the new ball a bit, and maybe pick up a couple of early wickets. That was probably what they might be thinking about, but rain did not favor India very much. And what this basically means is that New Zealand have to chase 107 runs, and they essentially have 3 sessions on day 5 to do that. So that is a lot of time for the Kiwis to chase a very meager score of 107. A fun fact that India actually has defended a very low total of 107 against Australia back in 2004. So India can do that. India hasn't done that a lot. I've not seen India, other than in ODI cricket, dismissing an entire international team for under 60. India have done that a couple of times last year. We saw that in Asia Cup as well as in the World Cup against Sri Lanka. So it would take some extremely inspired gameplay from the Indian bowlers and from the Indian fielders, and of course some very favorable conditions to take those key early wickets. Otherwise, like I said, we are in the final phase of the game, and as it seems, it's game set play for New Zealand. And if things go well, if there is no rain tomorrow, while I am hearing that there is some forecast for rain somewhere around 80 to 90%, we don't know how much it is actually going to rain, when it is actually going to rain. So if it rains in the morning, throughout the afternoon, maybe till around 3 or 4, we could see the entire day being washed off, this game ending in a draw, which would be favorable for India, not for New Zealand though. Or if we could see no rain absolutely, I will be assuming the Kiwis will most likely go on to finish the game in the very first session. They will be willing to do that. I mean, they will take a few risks here and there, but when your total that you're chasing, when your target is just 107 runs, you do not have that much pressure. Sure, maybe a couple of your top order batsmen, they get out for, let's say, less than 10 runs, trying something new, trying experimenting something, or taking an unnecessary risk. But then you still have those rest of the 6 or 7 players through the rest of your batting order who can contribute equally and reach a total of 107. So like I say, it's a game made for New Zealand. It is their game to actually lose from this point. What we only can look for is how the conditions work out tomorrow and how the Indian bowlers actually react to those conditions, and how they bowl, how they use that new cherry, how they swing that ball, and if conditions permit, how the spinners react to it as well. So there's a lot of action tomorrow. We don't know what really is going to happen. While I am predicting an easy victory for New Zealand, there is a very good chance, even though it's a very small chance, about 5%, that India does win. There is still a chance. It's not impossible. There is also a chance that if the weather conditions are not favorable, the day could just get washed off, and we could see such a spectacular game end in a draw, which again, like I said, would be great for India, because they came back from the jaws of death, but not great for New Zealand because they would really be hoping to win such a game where they dismiss the entire opposition for 46, and then they give them a lead of they give them a trail of 356 runs. So there's a lot to see, lot to think what can happen. So that's pretty much how the day went and how I am predicting tomorrow will go. Pressure will be on both the sides, India more than New Zealand, and it will be a very fun watch. I'll be there, of course, watching it and talking about it later in the day. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. And of course, as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The links to my other platforms where you can watch or hear this, or maybe even see the other content which I make, will be in the description. You can tell me how the video was, how a reaction was in the comments, or reach out to me through any of those links. Bye bye.